Yo, what's up, guys? This is D Brown with Track Hits. I'd like to welcome you to another episode of Track Hits. So, today I have the 400-meter picks for the men for the Olympic trials 2024 in Paris. The 400 meters went from being a very kind of soft, quote-unquote, soft event from last year to like one of the ones that I'm really looking forward to seeing this year. There's so much new talent. There's so much newcomers, new athletes that I think it's like highs and lows when it comes to the 400. Sometimes you have off years, and then everyone who had an off year, they're in training mode, and then they make it a really dope year. So let's get on to it. These are my picks for the men's, who I see getting top three, who I see getting the gold, silver, and bronze. So first person I have is Matthew Hudson-Smith. He's someone that I saw when I went to Budapest that really set up a really quality 350. He's someone that's tall. He's very patient. And he's just crazy enough to go out there and snag it if he's necessary. I think he's in his best shape of his life. I've been watching his races. That 43.7 was very commanding. He's someone that's not scared to take it out at 20.9, 20.8, and is strong enough to finish up in a pretty great race. He has very interesting mechanics because unlike a lot of people, he has this very weird, it's not weird, but he has a slight curvature of his back, which doesn't give him the best knee lift when he's coming home. He has sometimes a little bit of back kick, but he makes it work for him, and this dude's super strong. I think he's a phenom. I watched this interview with Justin Gatlin on the Ready, Set, Go podcast, and his story is so unique. And it seems like the only thing that's been really holding him back a lot of these years has been his, he's been dealing with Achilles issues, and he seems to be healthy. He seems to be healthy this year. I think the fact that it's in Europe is going to be a really big push as well. It should be a lot of Great Britons in the area. And I'm looking forward to seeing how he does it and how he handles the rounds. I think he's, like I said, he's a pretty... I think the form that he's in this year, he broke 44 seconds for the first time. He ran 43.7 heading into at London, and it was a pretty quality field. He's someone I definitely see winning. Second person I have is Quincy Hall. Quincy Hall with the golds, man. I like his swag. I like how, we need a dog. We need that Fred Curley. We need that dog in the 400 that doesn't care about statistics, just cares about give me mine. And I think he embodies that mentality. He trains over at the University of Florida with Mouse, and I like his mentality. I think it's gonna take that kind of mentality to push Matthew Hudson-Smith. That he was able to snag a bronze last year, with Matthew Hudson-Smith snatching the silver. Last year, Quincy Hall went to go snatch it from the depths of hell. He took it from Vernon Norwood, and I think he's hungry for gold, hence the gold's in his mouth. So we kind of need that. We need that push. I think it's gonna be a pretty quality race between those two, especially in the last 120. Third person that I have is Alexander Doom. So I'm not biased. I'm American, I'm Jamaican, but I'm not biased. I've been watching what's been going on in Europe. I watched him all in the indoor season, and he's a very sneaky individual. He's a finisher. And one thing that's really scary about finishers sometimes is that sometimes, especially in the 400, the 350, all the places could be legit. You see first, second, third, fourth, people are fighting their way towards the line, and you see someone who's on the strength side who knows how to finish, snag him a place. They come from fifth, sixth, and they come to third. And I think that's going to be his situation, assuming that he makes it to the finals. He's someone that has been notorious indoor season and outdoor season for snatching souls. He's someone that hawked down Christopher Bailey, and Christopher Bailey is one of America's best finishers right now. He went 44.42, I believe, at Olympic trials, and he snagged his place too. In the outside lane, he's someone who's very, very strong, very knows how to finish it up that last 200. But Alexander Doom was able to hawk him down in the 4x4 in indoor season. So he has this unique strength that I feel like, with the European push and being pushed towards the line, is going to be a quality race. This is going to be the race of the finishers, to be honest. This is going to be a front-run race, in my opinion. I think a lot of these guys are either going to be leading. I think Matthew Hudson is going to be leading off of that last 300. And I think Quincy Hall and Alexander Doom are going to be running down people to try and get him and snag themselves a medal. And I think that's how it's going to go down. I think it's going to be Matthew Hudson-Smith, Quincy Hall, and then Alexander Doom. He has shown a strength this year that a lot of people haven't been able to match. I mean, he's at that cusp of like 44-1, 44-2, looking for a breakthrough. And for these Olympic Games, I feel like it's going to be the perfect breakthrough. It ain't going to be too hot. It's not going to be too cold. It's Paris. It's right in that European area. It's obviously in the European continent. And I think that's what's gonna happen. Now, I do have a couple dark horses here, and I hope y'all don't think I'm cheating. But I set my top 3, but I have 3 dark horses. First and foremost, I have Michael Norman, right? Michael Norman, if he's patient, Michael Norman literally has the ability to win the whole thing, in my personal opinion. But I think he hasn't shown the patience to be able to win it. I think if he ran one more 400 post-Olympic and he's shown that, hey, I'm in 43 shape, I'll be like, yep, let's throw him in the top 3. But he has this, I'm not sure if it's a mental adjustment he has to make. I mean, this guy is so freaking gifted and talented, but I feel like, between the way he runs the rounds and his lack of patience, I feel like he's kind of like Ry Benjamin 2 years ago, where Ry Benjamin was kind of in this thing of like, I don't want to get into my picks, but like Warholm is taking it out. I'm not trusting my race model that my coaches told me, and I'm making these bad decisions, and I feel like it's kind of messing him up. I think he has the potential to win the whole thing. He has the talent to win the whole thing. He has the fastest PR out of everybody. But I don't think he has that dog mentality that Quincy Hall has. And that's disrespectful. I'm not trying to diss him or anything like that. This is just my opinion. I think if he's patient, he has he's the dark horse of my pick to kind of win the whole thing. Second I have is Steven Gardiner. It can't be unmatched, Steven Gardner's potential and his talent level. This dude is strong. He's been consistent. He's the Olympic champion. He's someone that has been able to finish. I mean, this guy is freaking 6'8". Nah, he's more like 6'3", very lanky, very efficient over the whole duration of the 200. Unique, this is a pretty unique situation. He trains with Matthew Hudson-Smith. So I feel like he knows, if they're together in practice and, they're able to push each other, it may suggest that Steven Gardiner is in good shape. Now, one thing about Steven Gardiner that I noticed is that he's been going through a lot of injury issues. When he feel like he's about to get beat, he hits the track. It's just a lot of things that's been going on that hasn't been quite consistent with Steven Gardiner. Sure, he's run like, a couple 44s this year. Last year, he ran a couple 43s. But I think it's going to take more than a 44 to really show me, like, hey, I'm in good shape to win, assuming he even finishes the race. So, yeah, but if he is on point, I feel like he's definitely someone that can crack into the medal stands, if not win the whole thing. Again, he's a 44, I think, 44.7, 44.6 athlete. And he's to be respected because that dude is a strong guy. And last but not least, and I'm only saying this last person just because, of who their coach is. Christopher Morales-Williams. He's someone who has the number 3 time in the 400-meter dash this year. He's coming from a very long collegiate season. But I feel like the fact that he's being coached by Carol Gilbert Smith, I believe is her name. She used to coach Ry Benjamin and Michael Norman at the University of Southern California. Used to be the track and field director. She's now at UGA. She's very good at periodization. She's very good at timing her season well. If you look back at DeGrasse in 2016, he had a very long season too. I think 2015, 2016, he had a very long season along with Trayvon Bromell. And DeGrasse was able to hold up because of her ability to recognize that he doesn't need to run fast the whole year. He's supposed to be able to peak. She went back to the drawing board after his NCAAs. They trained a little bit, came back. He was able to challenge Usain Bolt in the 200 and get him a bronze or silver during that time period. So I think with Christopher Morales-Williams, him being Canadian, not needing to peak at the Olympic trials, he's been running these very sneaky high 44s at the professional level. I don't think he's professional, or is he? I think he may be professional, I'm not sure. But he's been running these very sneaky 4x4 44s in the 400 in these European circuits. And I think they're very heavy 44s. I think he's training through them. I think he's weight training. He's getting his body prepared for what it's going to take. And he's someone that has said he doesn't really feel lactic like that. Very strange athlete because his form isn't the best. but he's a very gritty athlete. And I think he may be one that if people aren't on point and they're not, focused, and he may be one that could, sneak in there and grab himself a medal, because it's going to definitely take 43 to get that. And I think that, so far we have 2 athletes running 43 this year. He's the third one, running 44.0. And I think that he's not to be underestimated at all. So those are my picks for the 400. Like I said, Matthew Hudson-Smith, Quincy Hall, and Alexander Doom. That's what I have for my 400-meter Olympic final picks. All right, if you have any opinions on that, if you want to let me know, yo, D, you tripping, I don't know what you're talking about, you shouldn't even have a channel, let me know in the comments. What are your picks? Why? Let me know some explanations. Maybe it's valid, maybe it's not, but I think the 400 is wide open this year, and I think it's Matthew Hudson-Smith time. That's what I think. So thank you guys for watching. This is D Brown with Track Kids. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.